which is something really exciting. It's known by many names, but it relates to the notion of how entrepreneurs get in front of investors and how investors analyze and work with entrepreneurs. They can be critical, they can be constructively critical, or they can be, I don't know what the easier word is, but eviscerating in what they're going to do. What I'd like to do now, though, is to introduce up onto the stage two seasoned investors that have looked at investments large and small. Please join me on the stage, gentlemen. This is Yara Velbaz and Christopher Marks, who are both very invested and very passionate about investment in Africa and also around the world, and have together managed investments in the billions of dollars, I think it's safe to say. And so in their world, they probably see a lot of potential. They see a lot of different investments that are large and small. Today, we're going to be seeing something that is truly entrepreneurial in style that may or may not be something you see on a regular basis. There's nothing more intimidating for an entrepreneur than to walk into the office of an investor and to have to make a pitch. And given a very small amount of time, given that investors' time arguably is very valuable. The good news is in this discussion that we're just going to have, all of you are also going to be investors. So I'm very excited about this. So this means you have to pay attention because we're going to be introducing you to 3 different inventors with 3 different ideas and products and solutions. Our investors are going to be asking them questions. Okay. And then you'll have a chance to vote. So with that, this is Money Talks. All right, again, thank you so much for being here. We're very excited to be here, and things are going to move pretty quickly. What's going to be very important, of course, is the fact that our inventors are only going to have a short period of time, and they do know that they will be cut off if they don't make that period of time. So pay attention, and at the end of each session, you're going to have the chance, along with our investors, to say, we want to invest or we don't want to invest in this product or service. So if I could have our first inventor out on the stage, please. Okay, we got a video first. The first person that's going to be coming out is Abdou Maman with tele-irrigation in Niger.
Bonjour, je vais procéder à la démonstration de la télé-irrigation. Je lance un SMS.
Okay, so my ignorance of tele-irrigation. I send a text message that will go through the server and actually instruct the little box down there at the bottom of my barrel that will then trigger the system of water irrigation. So, as I said, I just have to transit via the server that manages the data that then triggers the system of the irrigation. So it's going via the satellite phone telephone signals, basically. And you have to imagine that this barrel is actually, normally could be connected to a much larger well. And I will proceed with the switching off of the same device now. So this device has been ordered to stop the irrigation process. And you can do it from wherever you are geographically. So that's quite handy. So there you go.
To convince our 2 investors that this is an incredible thing that should be invested in immediately and to scale. Please go ahead.
Bonjour, je suis Abdou Maman.
Hello, my name is Abdou Maman. I'm the inventor of this tele-irrigation system that was just illustrated to you on the small video clip, and I'm also the director of the company that should be commercializing and distributing this system. So what is it all about? In fact, tele-irrigation is a technological device that would enable the farmers to resort to technologies such as their mobile telephones and also solar energy, as well as their specific spatial distribution depending on their arable and farming lands disposition, obviously, in order to analyze and integrate a number of key indicators about the rate of humidity and to then decide and control remotely how their irrigation system should be managed, basically. So about 87% of the population, in fact, in our country are farmers, but unfortunately, the level and rates of rain waterfalls are quite random and hard to predict. So the droughts cycles are chronic and are predictable. We know that they last usually less than 3 months, and so the whole population has to capitalize basically on those 3 months of waterfalls in order to then irrigate their crops for the rest of the 12 or the 9 other months of the year. So 2/3 of the farmers' time is usually spent in irrigation attempts, whereas in fact there are several different steps that are just as relevant to their business or to their profit making. They should be managing the sales, the marketing aspects also of their crops. And in fact, there's also the problem of access to water, of course, because there are only rivers in very specific and limited regions, and for the rest you have to actually extract it from underground and then drain it to other parts of his land. And so this is a lot of time invested basically for the farmers into makeshift arrangements rather than actually productive and efficient inventions. So I think that is the reason why we should exploit those technological accessories in order to facilitate for farmers the underground drilling, for example, to access water on the one hand, and on the other hand, to manage the irrigation systems in a more efficient way. And in fact, 4 out of 5 households, including farmers obviously, have a mobile phone. So that's why we immediately thought of exploiting this now, in the meantime, natural assets, as it were, in order to facilitate their water management, hence the tele-irrigation system that we're coming up with that enables you to include and parameterize a number of weather forecast parameters and to project yourself onto your land's water needs. So our system is being distributed by a company that was then set up about 5 months ago, and has already managed to sell and distribute about 100 of those remote control kits. And we're trying to expand beyond our own region to similar neighboring countries with regions that suffer from the same climatological constraints, basically, because we believe this is a very useful technology to be launched in the subregions of Nigeria, Mali, or Burkina, for example, and even Niger, other regions than Niger. So that is why we could how we could drive down the time spent by agriculturists on their irrigation to 40%.
Our investors, I think it's probably raised a number of questions. We'll have time probably for two questions each. Yara, would you like to begin, or Christopher?
Bon, peut-être moi je commence. En fait.
Okay, let me start then. I fully understand your perspective, your objective from a social point of view, but for someone who would really like to buy your service and pay for it, I still find it difficult to understand what the practical benefit will be, because you're not changing or improving anything to their production technology as such, and probably not changing to anything to its profitability either. So apart from the effort deployed to irrigate their crops, what will improve? In fact, you're right to say that it's the effort saved on the irrigation time that will be the fundamental, that will be at the heart of a project. But basically, you have to imagine that if you spend 8 hours trying to irrigate your crop, and it can be cut down to 1 hour, you've earned yourself some time to then dedicate more time to the commercialization, for example, of your products, or to also learn about and acquire some new technologies regarding your type of crops, for example. And also you're sparing yourself some energy, basically, because it's physically very tiring also to be irrigating. So through this technology, you can water your 10 hectares without suffering as much as for your regular standard 21s.
For the next few 1 or 2 questions, Yarv, go ahead. And go ahead and step up. Everyone needs to see you, not me. Let's go. Okay.
Encore une question.
So my second question concerns the wide scope, in fact, of your invention, will it be very easy and cheap? Will it be available through solar energy? Will it be, what's the reception also of your remote control device, basically? How far away will you be able to remote manage it, basically? Thank you. So to answer your first question,
L'énergie solaire.
the solar energy will be the one implied, so therefore it's in the beginning a rather major financial investments, but it's very easy to amortize, in fact, because you make so many economies of scale. So the first challenge, in fact, was to acquire the capital in the beginning to invest in the solar energy, but by the end of the year, your return on the investment will be worthwhile. And over the coming years, then you will even generate some profits. So the idea is to adhere to this kit as a package, as a whole, in fact. The technology itself is not that costly, in fact, it's about $400, but you need an entrance. That's to say the solar energy, and the less pumping or distribution as possible to diminish the cost. And that was basically driving your equation to a worthwhile investment.
No problem.
Yeah.
Moi, je vais te poser une seule question.
Yeah, one question will be enough for me, in fact. In my quality of investor, I would say that when we invest, we like to invest. I wanted to talk to you about your business plans and your finances and your exit strategies, but I've changed my perspective now after listening to you. In fact, entrepreneur can lead to so many different things. You start off as an entrepreneur, but you never know what you're going to finish like, a minister or conference organizer, worldwide decision maker and conference organizer. What I would like you to tell us between ourselves is, who are you really? When you invest on someone, you first of all bet on a man, on a team of people. And what I want to say is that what comes first and foremost for us is certainly this human factor rather than a project in itself objectively. So what's the reason why you're finding yourself on this prestigious stage, presenting your project to us, waking up and raising one morning saying to yourself, I want to do this?
So, yourself.
Je vous remercie. Effectivement, la télé-irrigation est mon...
Indeed, tele-irrigation can be dubbed as my life project, in fact. I created it because I wanted to find a solution to a problem that was bugging me for a long time, basically because I experienced it personally on the field. And my company was created as a lifetime project, so I really want to be carrying this project as my own little baby, and I think the users that this project are aimed at is really supposed to serve Africans and through an African project, hopefully.
Limited information we have, but obviously the passionate presentation is the question. Would you invest in this project?
Moi, j'aimerais répondre à this question. Moi, j'aimerais...
I would like to answer only at the end of every presentation, if you don't mind, because we have 3 competing inventors, and we can't obviously put our money in everybody's portfolio or projects. So is it possible, as in we do in real life, basically, to compare different business cases before giving on our answer? So I would like not to answer straight away.
Unfortunately, each investment may be observed independently. It's not a competition in that each one can stand on its own merits. So for the brevity of the conversation, and if you just go ahead and I think I even heard some of the audience saying yes or no, or oui or non. So would you invest?
I think so.
Okay, I think so. So Christopher.
Moi, j'ai cette inquiétude sur la demande.
I have the slightest concern regarding the demand. You're trying to make some savings, obviously. It will save you some time, energy, fatigue, perhaps, and less workforce. And it could be accessible, but the workforce, as you know, is very readily available in countries such as Nigeria. So that's the failing argument, I would say, to convince me. So I would say, no, I'm not investing. So.
The house lights or not, but very quickly, in fact, maybe without the house lights, we'll do it by voice. Those that would say they would invest, say yes or oui. And those that would say no. No one would say no. Does everyone have their money with them today? Because he's ready. Okay, so there's a majority of yes. There's a split decision by the investors. I wish the greatest of luck, and thank you so much.
Merci.
I'd like to invite our next entrepreneurs on the stage, the pair of Anthony Mutua and Nima Simba, who are going to both describe as well as demonstrate their product and service with us today. So nice to meet you and welcome.
Pleasure.
If you just go to stand in the center and talk through.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nima Simba from Mutua Technologies. I'm here to represent Hatua Shoe Mobile Charger. We are seeking $500,000 in exchange for 25% stake in our company. Have you ever been in a situation whereby you need to charge your phone so bad, but you're unable to because your battery has drained? I have. So Hatua Shoe Mobile Charger is a solution to this. With a small crystal chip fitted in its sole, it's able to produce to generate and store electrical energy while you walk. This energy later can be used to charge your mobile phone device or any other small electronic device. An 800-meter walk will allow you to charge your phone fully, and a 4-kilometer walk will allow you to charge 3 phones simultaneously. We are currently outsourced the production of the shoe and the chip, but we currently assemble our product back in Kenya. A shoe currently retails between $40 to $48 because you're still doing small scale due to the, depending on the quality of the shoe, the size, and the gender of the shoe. What problem are we solving? Mobile charging is the most sought after form of energy use in the world. In Kenya only, we have 30 million mobile phone subscribers. 20 million of these do not have access to electricity. In Africa, we have 600 million mobile phone subscribers, and 2 million of these do not have access to electricity. By the end of this year, in the world, we'll have 7.3 billion mobile phone subscribers, and 1.2 billion of these will not have access to electricity. These are our target market. This is the problem we are trying to solve. And anyone else who requires a readily available and a green renewable source of energy to charge their mobile phones. What is our strategy? We are planning to expand, and with that, we are going to have representatives in all our major markets. Currently, we have one in Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Gambia, and still negotiating in one with China and South Africa. With that, we are intending to hit our sales of 100,000 by the end of the first year after we start mass production, and we are projecting 1.2 million by the end of 2018. We are going to use marketing agencies, internet or media, whatever works best for us, so that we may do grassroots campaign and marketing and make sure that we create awareness to everyone that requires this product.
Welcome.
With the 500,000 that you are going to give us, we are going first to get an international intellectual property right and an African patent, because currently we have lost orders worth $720,000 because we lack the international patent. We are also going to make sure that our assembly plant is fully automated to ensure large-scale production. We are also going to employ professionals like the IT, legal team, marketers, and strategists to enable in the production of the shoe. We are also going to launch our e-commerce website that will be done by the end of July. And also, the money is also going to go in the campaigns and the creation of awareness of our products. So if I might say, if you invest in our product, you're not only investing in a very good idea, you are investing in the origin of the idea, an origin that will keep giving. Why am I saying this? This is because that, okay.
Just got a minute left, and I know you want to show.
This is because we have other improvements, including charging your phone wirelessly using the shoe, and also having just an inner sole instead of the whole shoe. So you are wondering who is walking around. He is the brains behind the work. His name is Anthony Mitua, the CEO and inventor of the product. He's going to show us how the shoes work. You connect it using a USB cable in the shoe. So this is a female and a male one. You connect it there. And these are different ports for different types of phones. He has been working to charge the phone, the shoe. So to show that this thing works and produces light, see, the torch has lit. And to charge the phone, you can move closely. This is showing, it's charging. Like, come closer. It's not. It's also charging. So please invest in our product and let's provide a green renewable source of energy for not only charging mobile phones, but also lighting the house, because we have a doormat that enables to light the house at night. Thank you.
Well done. Good. So, as I was saying, there's nothing better than a live demo to both excite as well as to inspire terror in the person doing it. Would you like to begin with a question?
Yeah, I see that they came with their fan club, so I will have the same question at the previous one. As I told them, we invest, before investing in a product and before investing in an idea, we invest on people. So and I would like to know exactly, very short, because I think that we are running out of time, very shortly, who are you exactly? How did you came a morning and decided to begin this great and impressive adventure?
First, it was someone had contracted him to do a project of measuring the weight of cars when passing through our measuring unit. But then he thought, if you can do that, then the energy the pressure that is exerted can produce electricity. So intentionally, he previously decided to maybe just use a cap and use solar energy. But when he thought about you can use the pressure to produce energy, that's when he came up with the pressure-driven chip that charges the phone.
Great. Christopher, question for you.
I want to ask a question. By the way, it's a fantastic idea. It's one of these things you wonder why someone hadn't thought of it before. So many congratulations. A question about your market, today and tomorrow. Do you think you are best served by a disposable product, which can be used among many different shoes, maybe for middle-class populations, or over time, could you make, let's say, with the producer of a shoe, a power shoe, inexpensive power shoe for a different stratum of the population who only has one or two shoes, and therefore you use the product over time?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Do you think it's better to have a disposable product, or could you imagine integrating your product into a shoe, which could then be produced in a very large size?
Okay, we wanted to use the shoe first, but then we have an improvement where we're going to use just an inner sole instead of the whole shoe. So you can change your shoe, your inner sole from one shoe to another, and you're still able to get the service.
Okay. All right. It's interesting stuff. I don't want to color the judges or the investors. So audience, please do pay attention. But Christopher, I'll ask you first this time. Would you invest?
I'm in.
He's in. Very good. AGYARE, how do you feel?
I cannot say that I would invest, but I say that I invest.
All right. And our extremely elite and wealthy audience, would you invest? Yes. See, that was just a little. Congratulations, you have investors. Very good. Thank you very much. So go this way. Okay. All right. Now we're rolling. All right, and if you like the idea of the live demo, we've got another one for you. So please join me in welcoming Khalid Saleh. Come up to the stage. Welcome. All right, so go ahead and get front and center, make sure everybody can see you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Khalid Saleh. I am from Egypt. I'm also the co-founder and CTO of Mobster. Our story started when we first met a 15-year-old called Ahmed, who had an accident and lost his sight. Let's imagine after 15 years old, being able to read, enjoy, and playing around with his friends, he now can see nothing. So let's imagine there is about 300 million people who are just like Ahmed all over the world. 27 million of them are the sub-Saharan Africa countries. Over 3 million of them are in my home country, Egypt. So these people suffer from a lot of problems every day and every morning. So these problems, especially when it comes to navigation, it ranges from the lack of the feel of independence. They have to carry something in their hands or have some sort of personal assistant. So, and also the fear of unfamiliar places. And the most important thing, the feel of being not fully engaged in their society. So we look closely to these problems and try to address this problem well. And we came up with SenseFi. SenseFi is a wearable camera, like this, like the one I'm wearing. It's connected to a portable computer that run on top of it our developed algorithm that can detect any kind of obstacle right in front of them. Not only this, it can also recognize certain critical objects like stairs, chairs, and even doors. So there is other assistive tools that's already in the market, but we believe that our solution is have more competitive advantage over them. Why we believe so? Because our system has a novel technology that can detect and recognize objects simultaneously, and also it's a wearable gadget that makes the hands of the wearer of the belt free to do anything else rather than any traditional way like the white cans. And also the most important thing, no prior training is needed to use our solution. So we have been working on this since October 2013, and we are now in the phase of the pre-manufacturing, and we have sold 5 beta prototypes with 5 blind person in Egypt, and we are trying and testing it with them now. We are projecting to sell during the first year, by the end of this year, and during this year we will be selling about 1,000 units of that at the price of $1,000. But we are working also with other partners that will have some sort of sponsorship for these units. That's we are working on it. Like we have with 5 beta prototypes, we have a collaboration with a TV media channel in Egypt. They sponsored the price of that. But by the end of the first year, we will be introducing another version of it. It will have just only the camera connected with a smartphone that will reduce the cost of the unit. It will be around $300. And also we have another service called SenseFi Maps. It's basically like a Google Maps, but it will be for larger organizations or larger universities that want to make their buildings accessible for people with disabilities, especially blind person. That's our team. It's me. I am the co-founder, and Khalid also my co-founder also. And we have Rami and Ahmed. We are needing $300K to further development of our product, and also for the international patents, and also the market research for other markets. We believe that our product is a global product, so we need to penetrate any other markets rather than just Africa. And also we need the initial marketing campaign for our product. Thanks, and let's go now to do the demonstration for our product. Thank you.
You're gonna go. Okay, so now we have a demonstration. So go ahead. Or you can do it.
upstairs, 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 downstairs, center chair, right chair,
So this is how it works. The beep sound. The beep sound starts to work when there is any obstacle about 1 meter away from him, and it stops when there is any other obstacle in front of him. And that's works simultaneously as we see with the object recognition for the stairs and door. We started with these two, but the platform can be scalable to other objects can be recognized. So, thank you.
Good. Step in the middle.
Okay.
So gentlemen, one question each.
Yeah, it's an enormously thoughtful innovation. I mean, it shows a lot of consciousness and cleverness. I have a question about applicability. African cities are very crowded, and I see the utility here inside. So are you imagining that its advantages are mostly for people using it indoors?
Yeah.
And then the question of who would pay for it. If the application is for internal comfort and efficiency, are you targeting corporations, for example?
Yeah, we have different strategies. During the first year, we'll be focusing more on Egypt and the MENA region because we have already some partnership with them. It will be the selling through our website and also through this partnership. By the end of the first year, we'll have another version that has the compatibility with a smartphone. That will lower the price of the product, so it will be able to penetrate any other markets in Africa and other countries and other continents like Europe or UK or US. Sorry, we are also the service that we are trying to build that will with the partnership of the organization or the NGOs that are interested to have this technology inside the buildings. It will help us to move forward, and also the manufacturing. Right now we are in hardware renaissance, so the hardware cost is lowering down. So we'll definitely, by the end of the first year, the cost will be lower than that.
Good. Okay. Last question. No question.
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
You already know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. So now the moment of truth from our investors, with all of them here. Would you be interested in investing?
Definitely yes.
Definitely yes. Very good.
Thank you.
And Christopher, what say you?
I'm afraid I will be the rain cloud again. I have concerns about applicability. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then one yes and one no. Very good.
Yes.
And for our audience, would you invest?
Thank you.
All right. So at least a mild mix among the audience. I think you're on your way with some good investment.
Thank you.
Very good. Best of luck to you. Thank you very much. So thank you all for participating in a grand experiment and a lot of fun today. We're very excited to have these three incredible inventors here and our investors playing a key and accurate and honest role. Thank you so much, and that's Money Talks.